It is April 2026. Inside Terminal 1 at Ben Gurion Airport, a group of Indian nationals arriving from Manipur and Mizoram collapse into each other's arms. The men are wearing traditional knitted kippot. The married women have covered their heads. Many of them are weeping as they walk off the plane. They are the first arrivals of a $30 million initiative funded by the Israeli government called Operation Wings of Dawn. Over the next few years, this program is designed to airlift 6,000 members of a single community, the Bnei Menashe, and permanently relocate them to Israel. The Bnei Menashe hold a deeply rooted belief about their origins. They claim to be direct descendants of Manasseh, the elder son of Joseph, and one of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. According to their oral history, after being exiled by the Assyrian Empire in 722 BCE, their ancestors migrated through Persia and Tibet before settling in the remote hills of northeast India. But launching an operation of this scale right now is highly unusual. Following the attacks of October 2023, Israel is embroiled in a multi-front conflict and facing massive economic strain. The state is operating under strict wartime budgets. To understand why the government is rushing this expensive airlift today, we have to look at how two completely separate crises, one spiritual and one highly pragmatic, have collided at the exact same moment in history. We start on the forested border between India and Myanmar, in Manipur and Mizoram. These communities have been geographically isolated for centuries. Historically, these hill tribes were animists, but in the 19th century, British Christian missionaries arrived in the region and successfully converted large swaths of the local population, introducing the tribes to translated copies of the Old Testament. Reading those biblical texts sparked something completely unexpected. By the 1950s, a powerful grassroots movement had taken firm hold across the hills. Small groups within the community began noticing overlaps between their own ancestral rituals and the stories of the Israelites, leading them to actively reclaim what they believed was their ancient identity. Anthropologists and geneticists have tested the lost tribe claim, and the DNA evidence remains ambiguous. Yet, the community's devotion is absolute. For decades, they have built synagogues, observed the Sabbath, and immersed themselves entirely in Orthodox Jewish practices. Today, a much darker catalyst is driving them to leave. Manipur is currently consumed by brutal ethnic violence between the Meitei majority and the Kuki minority, the ethnic group most Bnei Menashe belong to. For the community waiting in India, a flight to Tel Aviv offers an immediate, necessary escape from modern persecution and violence in their home state. The Israeli government approaches this migration differently. While the Sephardi chief rabbi officially recognized the Bnei Menashe as a Bnei of Israel back in 2005, the sudden acceleration of the airlift in 2026 is driven by immediate practical needs. After October 2023, the state faced a massive labor crisis. Israel blocked over 100,000 Palestinian laborers from entering the country. That sudden absence left sectors like construction and agriculture completely paralyzed. A 100 Asha. As this chart morphs into a map of Israel, a second strategic benefit emerges, placing these new arrivals along the contested northern border. From the state's perspective, this airlift executes a highly calculated geopolitical maneuver. It provides the bodies needed to solve an economic paralysis while simultaneously fortifying vulnerable border regions with religiously motivated citizens. The balloons and red carpets at Ben Gurion Airport inevitably give way to the morning after. Because their genetic links to the ancient Israelites cannot be proven, the Bnei Menashe are not automatically granted citizenship under the law of return. To stay in the country legally, every arrival must navigate a strict, formal Orthodox conversion process. The economic transition is equally jarring. Families who spent generations as rural farmers in the Indian hills now find themselves performing low-wage, manual labor in Israel's industrial zones. Then there is the cultural friction. The new arrivals often describe a sharp contrast between their own quiet, polite social norms and the famously direct, assertive culture of native Israelis. Operation Wings of Dawn reveals how modern migration actually works. Their deepest spiritual yearnings are finally being realized, because they align perfectly with the cold, pragmatic survival calculations of a modern nation-state.